Hello, and thank you for watching this video over narrative mediation. By the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of narrative mediation, and you should also be able to identify some techniques employed by narrative mediators. Narrative mediation is one of the newest and most complex styles of mediation today, and was created in response to a new language-based approach to therapy from the 1980s called narrative family therapy. As Winslade and Monk in 2000 explained, the approach to narrative mediation is centered around the concept of a narrative metaphor, or the idea that how we speak and think about ourselves, our positions, and our conflict is directly related to our self-image and how we interact with others. So with narrative mediation, the idea is to provide a new perspective and rewrite the pages that had already been written. At one point in our lives, we've all been angry. That anger that we feel clouds our judgment and blurs our perspective so that we can no longer see things clearly and rationally. Unfortunately, most people who participate in mediation sessions have at least a minor level of anger, and that emotion can often get in the way of a resolution. This is true for a number of reasons, but one reason is because we might not be entirely accurate when we tell our side of the story, because our version of the current conflict is incredibly one-dimensional. Winslade and Monk described this type of one-dimensional explanation as one that sums up a complex situation in one description that purports to give a total picture of the situation or of a person in it. Storytelling is a touchstone of mediation because it allows mediators and participants to have a better understanding of each person's perspective. Not only that, but listening to each participant's story and observing their tone, body language, and eye contact can provide valuable insight to a participant's willingness to find resolution. In narrative mediation, mediators encourage participants to tell their stories in an effort to identify the primary origin of conflict. As a mediator listens to each story, they might take notes so they can have a better understanding of the conflict storyline and all characters involved. Aside from taking notes, narrative mediators utilize a variety of techniques to help participants change how they view the conflict. Exploring Your Mind 2022 provides a great explanation of each technique. The first technique is known as double listening, or taking note of one person's negative descriptions and making them positive. An example of this would be one participant saying, "He never listens to me." A mediator could reframe this statement in a way that removes the negativity by saying, "It seems like you'd like to communicate with him in a better way." The second technique is called paraphrasing, or synthesizing what each participant narrates as much as possible. By paraphrasing what each participant is saying, the mediator is able to narrate the story and tell it in a way that is not laced with anger or resentment. The third technique is called reconsideration, or identifying aggressive language and helping reframe statements so participants can view their conflict in a new light. An example of this would be one participant saying, "I'm just fed up with how he treats me." In this situation, the mediator could reframe their statement and say, "It seems like you're ready to have a better relationship with him." The fourth technique is called externalization, where the mediator helps participants identify the most negative feeling the party is causing. And by doing this, the mediator is able to ask questions that give participants the opportunity to express how they're truly feeling and why they're feeling that way. This is a great technique to help the other participant understand another point of view. The fifth technique is inclusion of other narratives. Think of this as a form of role play. Imagine there's a conflict between two employees at an organization and their manager has asked them to go to mediation. A narrative mediator might ask both participants to step into the shoes of their manager and explain how they might view the conflict or how it's affecting them. By allowing participants to be vulnerable and share their raw emotions, narrative mediators are able to help them craft a new story and hopefully create a new, happier ending. Thank you for watching this video.